And I was like, hey, this is Hannah, and I'm hate you all. Peace out.
Wow. Oh, thank God.
That was my rendition. That was my rendition.
Yeah, our friends are here. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie.
I'm Edward.
They got it. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Dear Rosie, the show answering questions from kids who used Postal Service lyrics as their aim away messages.
Oh, I totally did that.
Me too, man. District sleeps alone tonight.
Way,
am I right?
away from here. I'll be.
That's yellow card.
That's what I used. Every time
Oh
I was going on a
boy,
trip.
we're way too happy going into the topic that we're talking about, but we're talking about social media and depression.
Bo, 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 bo.
And we have the whole gang back together. Casey and
Casey.
JoJo.
Ah!
Back together
Hi, everybody.
again.
What's up?
How you guys doing? Glad to be
good,
back
buddy.
together?
Yeah.
that was a long break. Yeah.
We really enjoyed.
I got it.
We enjoyed your friends that you guys brought on. Thanks for.
Oh, yeah, the rat. I forgot his name.
Richard.
I
brought on a duck. Or something. I
a good pro.
don't know what it was. It was blue. So,
Anyway, all right.
before we
so,
get into our topic of the day,
we
I
have a
believe
letter.
we have a letter.
from a friend. This is from Tina from Tahulovich.
Yep, that place was real. It's from Tahulovich. Keep going with the letter. Don't pass that. Don't even think about it. Just pretend you didn't hear it.
Thank you.
Tahulovich.
Dear Rosie.
Tahulovich.
I created a Tumblr so I would have a place for all my Steven Universe fan fiction. Yep. But all the profiles I follow make me sad. It's just a bunch of really thin girls saying they want to take a nap. A permanent nap.
Yikes.
Why is Tumblr so weird? Tina from Zahulovich.
I mean, well, if we're trying to answer real questions, I don't know why Tumblr is so weird. It's the worst.
It's weird, but also in bad and good ways.
Yeah.
If you're ever bored, just go on Tumblr and you'll be entertained for hours.
Also, free porn.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
But something that question kind of pointed out is depression and mental illness is very much permeated and
It's a fad.
exacerbated by social media.
It's
And it's almost kind of a fad.
It's a thing.
But it's also very real. There's a side of it where a lot of people who have mental illness, depression, anxiety, whatever that may be, and they go on social media, it has a tendency to worsen it for some people.
Yeah.
It's basically like you're living your life in kind of an acting sort of way. Anything you put on social media, no matter what, is like not 100% genuine. You're basically trying to boast about your life. You try to put the most exciting moments of your life on social media. And that's what we're bombarded with all the time. Somebody who, I'm not like crazy active on social media, but I'm like always on Facebook or Instagram, always looking at people's profiles. And you're never gonna see someone put up like just a day where they don't do anything and they're inside and they can't see the outside world because they're sad. Like that's rare. You don't see that in other people's life. You just see the happy.
Because we, as a culture, we don't like losers. We don't like people who don't win. So when there's that one person that will be like, oh, I'm very sad today. And that's all they leave. Everyone's kind of just like, oh, we don't really want to get into that. Like,
No, I mean, we're still very much in a culture where talking about your own like mental illness or you're suffering from depression is still very taboo. Like mental illness is one of those things where since you can't see it, it's hard for people to talk about and hard for people to respect. Yeah. And then on the other end of what we were talking about, just going back to this letter, there is a group of people, specifically kind of a younger generation of teens, who have kind of been using things like Tumblr and other things to kind of glamorize and make this like weird side of depression.
Yeah.
I was reading an article about this in The Atlantic where they call them depression wannabes, which is like, what they were trying to talk about with like seriousness, because they're like, yes, some of these people all maybe have mental illnesses, but it's the way they talk. It's like the things that they share on Tumblr. It's these reblogging of pictures of these like women and these very sad sentences. Or they have gifs of girls cutting themselves. Cutting has become very popular on Tumblr. There's like, I remember when Vine was the thing, because I'm a 14-year-old girl at heart forever. And there was this whole thing with these like MagCon boys, which were all those like teenage pop stars who are like Shawn Mendes and less successful people. Oh my God, I need a fucking life. Anyway, it's these people, and they had these like videos I would see on Vine all the time of these girls going up to these guys and like showing them their cutting scars, and they would like kiss it. And it was this popular series of videos. So basically it was showing how this this like cute side of cutting.
No.
It was like, yeah, it was this really depressing, like awful thing where girls, I don't think, realize that what they're doing is super messed up, because I know when you're a teenager, you don't realize half the shit that you say and think is garbage.
Okay, but let's talk about the elephant in the room here. 13
Okay,
reasons.
I have a name. It's Katie. And I don't appreciate when I wear this color, you referring to me as an elephant.
Stop stealing my jokes.
Anyway, but yes. Go.
13 reasons why.
Oh boy. That's basically the culmination of this whole Tumblr culture.
Yes.
Glamorizing depression.
So here's the bad thing about 13 Reasons Why. The producers had gone through a place in California where they actually help suicide victims and also have done research for these.
Yes,
for this.
they did.
And they
Experts.
those experts told them not to go through with the show. They themselves had encouraged. They said, no, that's a bad idea. You're going to get a lot of people and a lot of kids that will glamorize the idea of suicide. And they went ahead and did it anyway.
They even gave them advice for things that they could do if they were going to do it, and they followed
did not.
none of it. One of the main ones was, you never, ever, ever show the actual act of suicide. You just don't show it. And it's one of the most graphic suicide depictions I've ever seen, and it's a show meant for teenagers.
Yes.
The most impressionable people.
So
It's awful.
I feel like I'm seeing it now where a lot of adults will be watching it with their kids and they'll have that conversation afterwards, but not everyone has that sort of relationship with their parents.
Very rare is that going to happen.
Yeah. So I mean that's the dangerous part of it.
You could easily get from that show that suicide will solve your problems.
Yeah.
You could take that away from that show, because that girl does not look foolish by the end of it. She looks all knowing, and she basically is portrayed as like a god.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
So did you guys watch 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah, I saw 13 Reasons Why I wish I would watch something else.
Zing! And that's just true.
There was a high school that actually did during their like morning announcements, they called it 13 Reasons Why Not. And it was just like these kids basically copying the recording of Hannah, of the character, and being like, hey, these are people that I'm grateful for, and these are people that have made me want to keep living.
Oh,
So
that's
that's really
great.
nice. Some high schools are just like, let's, take it the other direction.
Because that show does a lot of stuff wrong, but you can use that and demonstrate how it does things wrong, and basically just try to get people to communicate. The sooner you can communicate your problems and your mental issues, the better. There are a lot of people who are just living with it
Yes.
and dealing with it, and yeah, they try to hide it, but that's just there. So don't be
You are
ashamed
not
of it.
alone. I am.
We don't know any more ways. He started, but he couldn't commit. Yeah, na 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 na. If you want, I can sing Michael Jackson's "Will You Be There" from start to finish. Hold me, woo, like the river Jordan.
Wow, okay. Bye, everybody.
Now then say to
Thanks
thee,
for stopping by.
you are my friend. Marry me. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Here, maybe here. Oh, here. Also, for other content, like us on Facebook, King's Fifth Productions.